can sing along too. It's Moloch News, Moloch News. He's out there to eat kids and Jews. It's Moloch. Moloch News. It's an update, everybody.
Hopefully we'll land on Uranus. Nice tight fit.
It feels sort of Muppety, doesn't it? You know?
Yeah.
I was watching the Muppets last week, and I tell you what, quality stuff. It was quality stuff back in the day.
Muppets are solid.
They are solid. You know who else is solid when you talk about children? Bill Clinton, everybody. Bill Clinton. Now, I know what everyone says, right? Like, well, there's no direct link. You know, it's just rumors. There's no way he could have been president and doing horrible things, right? But there was an interview by the FBI by someone that claimed to have been involved in a sexual cult that involved Bill Clinton. And I'm going to play a little bit of it here. May you share?
We're on the same page, and there's no.
So just to set the scene, this guy is on a boat out in the ocean. There is several underage kids, including himself, there. And by underage, I mean like 10 and under.
Yep.
Okay. And the person that discovered this video, because I wanted to look into it after May sent it to me, just to make sure it wasn't just some, whatever.
Yeah.
The reporter that did this was Jenny Moore. Mm-hmm. She was the one that reported this, found this interview, and found this witness, and released this video. I think this is back 2017.
I don't talk too much about that right now, but before I was raped by Bill Clinton, my uncle held me up over his head, and his accomplice walked up and slashed across the bottom of my feet with a scimitar and collected the blood in a chalice dish with this. He took a sip from it and then walked away through the crowd. After my uncle got the order, whatever, he held me up and tried to get Bill Clinton's attention. Bill Clinton turned around and looked like, he gave this look like, what am I going to do? I have to do it. Well, it's not.
So there he's talking about being held down, and then after it was over, they would take a knife and cut at the bottom of his feet with slash marks.
Now what happens? Why did they pick you? They parade you around or something, and they choose the kids? Is that how it happened?
They chose me years before. They chose me for various reasons.
So he's discussing why, as a baby, he was chosen to be fucked with in this satanic cult. Now, remember, we talked about this, and if you want to go back and look in the archives of the Franklin cover-up, we go into great detail what was going on in Nebraska before this little cult took precedent. I just thought it was interesting, the reason why they picked him at birth.
Sort of the rump of my family, and when I was born, I was born head first with the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck, with no heartbeat and no breath. They picked me because they thought that I was going to be just a failure. It is shock and awe.
So they picked him
because he was dead, basically.
Because he came out with the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck.
Because the statistics of that are low. They're not.
And not breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, doesn't that sound like a culty thing, a culty way to pick a child?
Yeah, the runt, the weakling, the one that can't fight and defend. Yeah.
I mean, in this
That's-
interview, go on our Twitter or X page, Phantom Facts, and you can see the whole 15-minute compilation of the most important parts of that interrogation. But I was. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I personally don't feel like a cult would pick the weakling. They want somebody strong, somebody extremely healthy, a big old fat baby that came out head first and
Interesting.
awesome. You know what I mean? Because cults want to be strong. They want to
Yeah, but
take
you
over.
just need the vitamins from the baby in a sense. You don't need.
But you want strong vitamins, not weak ones.
You're thinking on a physical aspect. I'm sort of thinking more along the spiritualistic aspect, right? Like the fact that if the belief is that he was he was born to be tormented. Umbilical cord is a sign from the gods.
Oh yes, okay.
That, he was born without breathing. If it hadn't been for intervention, he never would have lived anyway. So he owed his soul to whatever
Another being, higher being.
Yeah,
power.
and especially you think about
Well, you are definitely darker than me.
yes, well, fucking grew up learning about Molech. Thanks, mom and dad. So
Cheers to them.
cheers to that. I mean, I
Happy
think
Father's Day.
Yeah.
Fair.
Clip it. We go a little bit deeper. Just we're talking about Bill Clinton, but I'd hate for us to go about just talking about Bill when his lovely wife has her own little favorite things to do.
Be heard,
Hillary.
and you have a right to be believed. We're with you.
Thank you, Hillary. Thank you. So we're going to talk to someone who has a right to be heard and a right to be believed.
It was 1978, and it was determined that I had endured sufficient trauma to carry out my first trial run operation. An enormous quantity of cocaine had been flown in on one of these operations, and I was to deliver it into the neighboring state of Arkansas. By that time, Bill Clinton's drug operation was in full swing. He was governor of Arkansas, and I delivered this cocaine to a remote airport in Ouachita Forest, which I've since identified as Mena Airport.
States that they saw police beating the boys, which could mean that the teens had some involvement in a drug smuggling operation surrounding Bill Clinton. Autopsies reveal that Kevin died from a crushed skull before he was ever placed on the tracks, and Donald, he was stabbed in the back. Kevin and Donald are both...
Now,
We talked about this, I think,
Yep.
fucking last year or something. This story was super interesting.
Yeah. We and we talked about that Franklin cover up where those rituals were going on, where they did all the slashing,
My
right?
experience was much more prevalent with Hillary Clinton, because Hillary is also bisexual, leaning more towards a homosexual end, and it was she who accessed my sex programming to fulfill her perversions.
So Hillary Clinton had her own little special Epstein
Taco
world,
stand.
which many believe Huma Abedin is a many-year lover of Hillary. They share the same room when she was traveling for president both times. The marriage between Bill and Hillary has often been rumored to be one out of convenience. Bill was known to be, and when you say ladies' man, he's not a ladies' man. He's just a fucking freak. He's a freak, and you have to be if you're bisexual, all that shit. I have no problem with that. It's when you start using it to propagate and claim and to claim a lifestyle that is so it's rare. It's a rare lifestyle. And it's okay if people don't want to participate in it. Why can't you just be, why is sexuality such a focus You know, and it's because people like this were ruling our country.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just the Clintons, but the Clintons were right line and stem. Lots of cocaine, lots of partying.
People have all kinds of belief systems, and I'm sure each and every one of you has various and different belief systems as well. Regardless of what your belief system is, it is imperative that you know that these criminals are people. They are within our realm to affect. They need to be held accountable for their actions and their crimes against humanity.
All right. Here's, some interesting stuff. So anyway, I'm just giving you a background, right? So now we know Hillary's in on this. We know Bill's in on this. We know all of these. We know all these other people are willing participants in it. And this reporter, Jen Moore, finds this crack in the Clinton Foundation, and she starts digging away at it. And in 2018, I was shocked. I didn't realize it was going on in 2018. And to give you an idea better about who Jenny Moore is, she's a retired police officer that turned private investigative journalist afterward. Very driven to find the facts. She didn't care who she crossed. And I thought this was interesting. When she is in D.C., this happens.
A journalist who was investigating possible sex crimes from former President Bill Clinton is said to have been found dead in Washington. Prince George's County Police Department released a statement to One American News regarding Jenny Moore's death investigation, saying officers found a woman unresponsive at a Washington, D.C. hotel after a welfare check. The department claims the woman was pronounced dead at the scene. One America's Neil W. McCabe breaks down the case.
FBI whistleblower Robin Gritz told One American News her friend Jen Moore told her that if the wrong people found out about the documents she had just obtained, they would kill her.
It's 2018.
Mm-hmm.
2018.
Gritz did not know what those documents were, but she does know that the FBI called her August 13th to tell her that her friend was dead. This is the Capitol Heights, Maryland hotel where Moore was found unresponsive by housekeeping. Gritz said that she never knew Moore's last name, but that the police called her because she had listed the veteran FBI agent as the next of kin.
On Monday, I was sitting, it was towards the end of the day, and I was sitting at my desk at work. And
first of all, I've never followed OAN News. Have you guys ever heard of this?
Never.
Okay, this great reporting. I don't know if they're still like this. This is 2018. This report came out, but I'm gonna have to, take a look at them because no one else covered this. This is a highly respected investigative journalist,
Right. And this Grits chick was friends with her, but never knew her last name.
I looked.
She didn't.
I swear that's what he just said.
It's Jenny Moore.
Down and the line.
All right, well, let's play it back a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see.
An FBI agent as the next of kin.
A little more.
On Monday, I was.
Oh, okay. All right, that is. I think they're talking.
She never knew Moore's last name, but that the police called her Heights, Maryland hotel where Moore was found unresponsive by housekeeping. Gritz said that she never knew Moore's last name, but that the police called her because she had listed the veteran FBI agent as the next of kin.
That is very interesting. Catch Sunshine.
She's a vet. Sorry, I'm like having a moment because she's a vet FBI agent, doesn't know this bitch's last name, and now she's the next of kin.
Do you think
that's a protection? Probably.
Well, or is she the handler?
Ooh.
You know how Oswald had a handler, Manson had a handler.
Mm-hmm.
Is she the handler?
Could be.
Is she the one that identified the people that needed to know where she was?
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Well, and here I am saying that she was killed by someone else. Clearly, that's not what happened.
How dare you? She just had bad Taco Bell.
She had a seizure. No. She had a seizure.
Yeah.
On Monday, I was sitting, it was towards the end of the day, and I was sitting at my desk at work, and I looked down, and a lot of messages were coming in on my cell phone. And so I looked at it. On Twitter, someone had messaged me, did you know Task Force is dead?
Her name was, she changed it to Task Force on YouTube, which I cannot find any videos from her now. So there's that.
Keeps looking to the left.
You got to remember that was before the cleanse. Cleanse.
Yeah.
Task Force was the nickname for Moore, and Gritz said that she used it instead of her name to protect her. Gritz said that she thought it was all a sick joke, but after calling around, she confirmed that Task Force had passed, and then the phone rang.
It was a detective from Prince George's County Police Department, really, really nice guy. And he said, I got your name and number to get her next of kin. And he just said, this poor woman. He goes, suicide is pretty much ruled out. Nothing to indicate suicide.
Seizure, though. Definitely seizure.
Nothing to indicate a forced entry. Nothing.
Okay, so now we all know Clinton MO, right? It's suicide. They love the suicide. Everyone loves the suicide.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, not a suicide. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Right. Because that's the number one play.
Yeah.
I've got a theory on this.
Easiest to explain.
I got a theory on this.
Any kind of physical confrontation.
The initial call was that Moore had suffered a seizure, she said. Robin Gritz was not just any FBI veteran. For 16 years, she was a top agent.
The FBI.
Assigned to high-profile cases such as the Boston Marathon.
Boston Marathon bombing. We'll have to do an episode on that someday.
Bombing and posted as the FBI's liaison officer to the Defense Intelligence Agency.
Okay, right. High ranking. Didn't know her last name though. Very
6 years ago.
Not a clue.
Great catch, Sunshine. It's a great catch. Okay. So we'll play a little bit more of this.
She filed a gender discrimination complaint, but instead of addressing her concerns, the FBI put her on unpaid leave and has slow-walked her case. Using her skills, she used Moore's phone number to find 3 of the reporter's relatives and passed on their details to the detective.
Oh, that was nice of her.
Oh.
Hacked her phone. This
personal history that formed the bond between the two women, as Moore herself was a former California police officer.
That woman looks fake as fuck. I'm sorry.
Which one?
I think she turned her in, the one on the right.
Oh yeah.
The FBI agent. I think she was her handler. And she was her friend. Said, just keep me updated. Let me know.
Yeah.
I'm here for your safety.
How do you not know somebody's last name and you're listed as the next of kin?
Yeah, she's definitely dirt. She's dirty.
Who was targeted by her leadership. TruePundit.com reported that Moore had come to them about the child molestation ring she was investigating with the help of a 26-year-old who said he was passed around the ring in the 1990s.
I said,
which is the clip we watched. That's what she was talking about.
You need to kind of focus on what you have here that is the most needed, and I'll put you in touch with someone.
Grit said
she sure did. She sure did put him in touch with someone.
Right. Have you guys been watching her eyes? Have you been watching her eyes?
I've noticed you have, Ben. What have you seen?
Oh, God, yes.
What have you seen?
She looks to the left. When you look to the left, it's like you're trying to think of the lie.
Is it down to the left or up to the left?
I think down to the left, she's reading something. I think up to the left is her trying to space out, fill in the gaps. Because I don't think she has a full script. I think they have if they ask you this or something like this, answer like this. So then she's got to fill in the gaps.
Knew what Moore was working on, but she did know it was getting serious.
Licking lips. I saw that. She's licking lips.
See, look at her. She's trying to figure out how to make it all come together.
In the middle of doing all this research, she realized she was possibly getting into
Possibly, right? Dismissive.
Mm-hmm.
Dismissive of what she was finding.
some pretty dark places.
Dark places, yeah.
So she had documentation for everything. So she texted me and
She had no choice. The goddamn bitch was good. Got documentation for everything.
said,
I mean, she didn't. I'm sorry. I keep assuming someone killed her, but she had a seizure. She had a seizure.
Yeah, nobody killed
Is
her.
that because
She
of a
was
chip in her
unhealthy.
brain, though?
Nobody killed her. She had a seizure.
I got to find out who I can give this paperwork to. And if it gets into the wrong hands, someone will kill me. And that was just, I can say that was only about 2 weeks before her.
It'll be me. I'll
her
kill
death
you.
Was when she said, if this gets in the wrong hands.
I'm watching her eyes now, and whenever she's trying to think of how she said something in a conversation,
Yep.
she's looking down.
When her eyes just got real big like that, she's like, "Oh fuck, what did I say?"
At one point, she
I mean, look at it now.
she offered to
she's
take
freaking
in
out.
Moore at her place in the Midwest, but Moore never followed up on it, she said. Now she is mourning a friend and fellow traveler.
Okay. All right. So now we have thanks to YouTube, Jenny Moore's autopsy. All right. And I think the guy doesn't read it. Shame on him. So we're gonna have to read it.
Okay.
But we don't have to read all of it because I have pre-read it for you guys. So don't you worry about it. There are a couple interesting things I thought you should see here. I'm going to pause it here, and we're going to put this to full screen, but we can still hear each other. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this is the official autopsy of Jenny Marie Moore. Okay. This is after they got a chance to look at her. Now he goes on to talk about her hair. Nothing unusual there, but there are several lacerations all across her feet and legs.
Hmm.
One is 2 inches and a quarter, one on the upper chest, 1/4 inch, right, 5/8 to 1 inch and 1/8. Front right leg, multiple 1/2 inch each. Front left leg, multiple 1/2 inch to 3 inches and a quarter. Upper back, 1/4 to 3/4. Left back arm, multiple 1.5 inches.
Middle lower back. God damn.
1.25 inch pressure imprint abrasion contusion was on the lateral back right elbow and adjacent right forearm. Abrasions were on the bilateral lower lip, left chest under the left breast, upper mid right back, lateral back left forearm, medial front right leg and right knee. I mean, this woman, it appears to me.
But remember, she was a cop.
Good call. Because she put up one hell of a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, one absolutely.
It's amazing to me that they don't pay off the corners.
They usually do.
So, I mean, and if you want this, I can put this in the show notes. This goes into, this is the entire thing. I thought it was interesting. Pathological diagnosis, 49-year-old white female. Some interesting things about her. Heart weight, 440 grams. Some stuff with her heart. Obese. Had a pacemaker. Chronic alcoholism. Additional findings. Just she wasn't in the greatest of health, but I thought the chronic alcoholism was interesting. Also had a pacemaker.
Sounds like a badass bitch.
I would describe.
And do you blame her for chronic alcoholism with the life she had to lead?
No, no. Everyone's got their thing, right?
Right. I mean, the Clintons love to put a crack, knowing that someone's going to find it, just so they can erase it. just so they can erase it.
I don't think it was the Clintons. I think it was the satanic devil worshiping group. Because how do you explain the slashes?
Right, but isn't it the speculation that the Clintons are a part of this said satanic group?
Yes, but I don't think it was the Clintons. It wasn't the Clinton Foundation directing this suicide. This was whatever satanic cult they were in, wanting to get rid of this. And the reason I feel that way is because this witness talked about how after they got done raping him, they would slash the bottom of his feet with a knife, slashing or on their back or but for him it was on his feet. And this woman had several slashes, not very long.
That makes sense. Yeah. So, multiple people.
I just throwing it out there. I mean, I feel like that is. I mean, if that's not motive.
Yeah. Hey everyone, you can sing along too. It's Moloch News, Moloch News. He's out there to eat kids and Jews. It's Moloch. Moloch News.